Okay, this is a video about sponsoring and advertising. Advertising is pretty understandable what I mean by that. Sponsoring is what I refer to as the $1,000, if you will, for lack of a better word, ante, like in a poker game. The difference is you can actually get it back and never lose it. So I don't want to call it any form of I don't know the correct word for something. It's not an entrance fee, because you don't get entrance fee back whenever you've done something like that. So if there is a word for that, I'd like to know it. Anyways, that it kind of explains what I mean by sponsoring and by your sponsors, because first is you can have, or I can say you can sponsor yourself, or have others sponsor you, or you can have many people sponsor you, or a company or companies sponsor you. It's a form of the way you can advertise, is the way I guess it's coming to come across. Because if you do it yourself, you may not care about a form of advertising. But if there's somebody that's a reason you're doing it, and they're gonna pay for, let's say, be the one that called your sponsor for the game, and they paid your or gave you, I should say, the $1,000 to use to ante in the game. Because they have faith in you, or you have enough faith in yourself. So that's kind of what that helps. But that's also made to deter people from quitting the game. So not to get too far with that, kind of explained it in my longer video. But this is just for sponsoring and advertising. Like I say, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can list some of your sponsors, all of them, or the people advertising, when you post your video you're sending to me by your and or with your to say with your the nominator. Now we go into secondly. You determine who your sponsors and advertisers are, and the terms. That's for you to all do. Then, to be able to actually have me air them and everything, it'll have to go through me, because if I don't agree with somebody that's on there, not to say there would be, but there could be something very some people want to advertise some bad place that people shouldn't, not to say not be, but there's like I wouldn't want to advertise a guns, for instance, or something like that on the website. It's just not what I think would be a good way to show. There's places on the internet for that kind of thing. This is more of to say what I would understand to say. If I especially got to think about my side, is when I'm putting it on the main channel, is it's going to be rated E for everyone. So what's going to be able to be aired for a 2-year-old or a 5-year-old and be acceptable is what I'd be airing on there. Now there's also you bring something for all. Like if you were to bring something for all the people from an advertiser, I would be in charge on how or when it would be used in the game. Now let's say like honey, I would be the one to choose when it's going to be used, how it's going to be used. The honey, the people might want it to be played with the honey. I'm not going to say, okay, no, we can't do that, we're only going to ration it out. I don't want to do something like that. But to give enough to do something with both of the ideas of always using it to ration, maybe, because not everything might be that way in a game. Maybe it'll be something that's a one-time thing, or just a special thing. So I don't want to make anybody think it's the way they have to advertise is only with food. There could be other things. Just you got to watch to think about no electricity. So if that's not going to be provided to you in the game, really consider that when you're doing all your forms of thought of advertising, because that's why it's so much easier for me to say, some from an apple from somebody's orchard, or that just gives, and then you're bringing lots of a bunch of a little of everything, and it gets used over. And then also you want to maybe something will be sent there in time while you're there, and will be guaranteed. So it's a lot of mumbo jumbo you got to sort of think of, and make sure to get there, because I won't for your things guarantee upon it, but if they come, then I add them and incorporate them, those little extras, because what I already have is already thought and planned of. You got to think that when you're negotiating for things, that when people are watching your channel, that maybe you want to say something every hour on your channel. So every hour while people are watching your videos, that they'll at least hear your sponsor's name. Maybe it's they want you to say it once a day. Well, maybe they say they want you to go as far as saying they want it on my main channel to have you show us you saying it there. So now your advertisers, you're gonna have to not say go find and negotiate for me, but you bringing to tell me what they're willing to basically offer to have me give minute amount of time, kind of like a commercial wise, but on the show. But I have to work it in. This is kind of why you need to know things way ahead of time, because I want to incorporate things so it's not just a commercial you watch. It's boring, like pretty much like what you're watching when you're watching me. I'd like to have the jugglers in the back here, falling over or something, making it stupid and fun. At least I get dogs walking around. So I go into the third thing, which is pretty much about your channel. I'll make it for you. It's going to be 18 plus your channel, because I can't take a chance that what's being aired at all times and shown not edited won't slip up, or another person may not come into your video and compromise what maybe you don't swear at all and you would follow a PG complete, or even less than that, with no problem. But it doesn't mean that somebody else that's playing the game doesn't come in and drop a bad word in there and not have the ability to edit themselves, or what other people may consider. Some people consider certain words very bad, and others don't. So rather than play that game, you just put 18 and older. That makes the people have to have a YouTube account and be verified of their age, essentially, or the people at least letting them be on those accounts do that. So this just, I think, allows the safetiness of that. But then for all the people that don't have accounts, and all the young people that just want to click on the YouTube and are just doing it wherever they are, they will be able to watch the show on my main channel, which will have a 1 hour show. Kind of goes into my number 4 thing, where my main channel now is like, for instance, if you can get somebody to sponsor you, I'll be able to put them in the time. Now my main channel will show 1 hour every single day, drop down into cuts for the people, and then there'll be what I call the 2 hour once a week, so everybody can see like what's happened during the whole week of everything. So it'd be like the big show, but you can watch the daily review whole things, and at the end of the week watch everything. If you, especially maybe you missed the whole week and you just want to catch up, rather than watch the whole entire week 1 hour 7 times, you just watch the 2 hour to catch yourself up because there's something happened. I think it's just a good way to incorporate things, instead of watching those previews at the beginning and making you watch 10 minutes of what's already happened and you just watched it. just kind of has that removed the aspect out of it. Now, for the show, you need to know what I call like the time per day, because if you think about how much you can advertise when you're actually going to be showing, especially on my main channel, you have to think about the time and the amount of minutes you have to say things, and especially to have me want to do the work of editing just to catch you at the right time doing those and push them in because of what I want to show already that I know the viewers want to see, because the viewers don't really want to see you talking about a certain product. Now, if you're doing it while you're doing an obstacle course, it makes it easier to like show you while we're showing clips of the obstacle course. When you're doing a big jump over something and it's going to be good, we know there's going to be a big splash or something, that you're saying the advertiser's name going down, well, that's where you might want to think about how to incorporate your thoughts of advertising in here, and the people that are sponsoring you, if they have terms or anything like that, or how you worked it out with them, because maybe it's just friends and family that want to sponsor you. They care about no advertising, so I'm not saying how you get on this show is going to be determined by anything. I'm going to try to make a good choice of a lot of people. Now, like I say, there's a 2-hour show. You'll have 10 minutes of that a week that I'll be roughly showing, maybe even less than that, maybe about 7 minutes. There'll be about you on that 2-hour show, maybe a little more than that, but that I'd be able to dedicate to at least half of that in your advertising time, but that's dedicated towards you, more or less. Then I have the 1 hour a show per day, but of that whole, there's 12 people, so you only have 5 minutes of that 1 hour show a day on my channel. And again, you have to always remember that when you're advertising comes onto my channel, nothing 18 or older won't be acceptable, so you have to watch. If you have 5 minutes of time, well, say 4 minutes maximum of FaceTime on the show that I'll be doing per day, well, you might only have 2 minutes of that to advertise in. So there's a timing thing per day. You have to also keep track of when you're doing things, how you're doing things, and how you make your schedule. All I want to do is have it shown to me, and the worst I'll do is make your schedule lighter by just crossing off things because it won't be acceptable. So as long as the more you have that you just know are easily inaccessible, I don't care if Coke wants to come in and say, hey, we think we have the best player here. We're going to sponsor them and make a grand prize, help towards the grand prize for 10,000. We'll advertise for Coke and everything, and we'll back them up and show them, and they want 1 minute of airtime of your amount of time, and you're willing to give that of your 4 minutes per day. Well, yeah, how many times can you say the word Coke, though, or talk about it, and make sure that it's usable footage for us. So we're looking for good people out there. Now, don't forget about your own attributes for your time and what you're going to be wanting to show. That's why I say about half your time. B, don't forget about your nominator, and that they'll have a 1 hour a week show that they'll have 5 minutes of their own time on, that maybe 2 minutes they can advertise as in their nominating time on the main channel. They might have a little bit on your time. I haven't thought about that. And then also don't forget about, call it C, the live. There'll be live time. Now, I haven't got into quite live because I don't know how it works yet, and it'll be one of those touch-based things that once I can do it and I understand it, it'll be a different thing, but I want to get everything established. Like I say, I'm also looking for one person. This would be the 13th man. But that would be like the guy that doesn't get chosen but does come and get to be essentially the host, the guy that's going to run the outpost, and their nominator as well, because there'd be a person for them. And then because I also need a person that I call the trading cart person that's going to move around. So fair game. Looking for your comments. I'm going to be done this video now, and hope that I got everything that I need said for everybody about the sponsoring and advertisers, or advertising, I should say. Uh, um, yeah, there'll be links, I guess, to say, and you can click down below on my name and see the longer, more explained version of the game. I'll make other smaller videos like this explaining parts of the game in more detail again, like I've done with this. I had a few, let's say, companies, but people from the companies to say that to explain these parts a little more, so people can understand them, how things work, or how people can understand it's a game show that will be aired too, like it's television. I don't want to make it sound like it's not TV, because YouTube will be used as TV. It's just not going to be aired on television, the show itself. And not to say people can't go on other shows from this, but I don't want people to have that expectation. So I think that's all I need to show about this. If there's questions again, or anything, good or bad comments, I'd like to hear them. This is the end of the video, I guess. Alright, bye.